Hey everyone, want to thank everyone, all the subscribers. If you're new here, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, like this video. It gets us out into the algorithm, gets us more people on here. What we do here on this channel is that we spread the word that Jesus is coming. We also share knowledge, signs, dreams, visions, anything out there. We spread it and we talk about it on here. People let us know, then we post it. And then if you have something similar, you can write us. The email is in the description. Our Telegram is on there also, and we share a lot of news on there also. This one came in from Jessica Nolley. The first dream was a very short. This was back in March of 2020. The pandemic was going on, and I was just living my life. I wasn't walking with Christ. I was smoking some stuff and I didn't think I was doing anything wrong. I felt like I was a good person. I was kind and always landed a helping hand and helped when I could in any situation. I was dreaming that I was sitting in a small dark room. I was sitting in one of those metal folding chairs like you would see in a large gathering, that the kind that they can store away when they're not being used. There was a doorway to my front left, and the door was open. There was a light on. Let's see. There was a light on in the hallway, and it was casting a beam light directly to my left. I was sitting in the dark to the right of the beam of light. Once I noticed the light, I traced it to a chair on the floor next to me that was folded and laying flat. As I looked back up at the doorway, I heard a voice say, "Your time here is almost up. Quit living under the veil." I woke up. I immediately knew that this dream was from God. It was around 3 in the morning, and everything in me knew it was Him, even though I was not reading the Bible or going to church. And all the things that I do now. I didn't have a clue with the word veil, what the word veil meant. But I did have a feeling that it was telling me to quit smoking the stuff, more so that he wanted me to be sober minded. So I obeyed, and when I got sober, I started learning about stuff in the world that I didn't realize was going on, like the Illuminati and elites and all the missing children. And I just started to notice how many people were involved with Satan, that are involved with our government and the ones who say what is. I started going to church. Let's see. And all the things I do now. I didn't have a clue with the word veil. Hold on, I keep getting myself lost here. I was later, well, she went back to church. She was later baptized again for the second time in my life. Early this year, on Mother's Day to be exact, my preacher said he got a word from the Lord, and the church and our church service wasn't going to be what he had planned. Instead, he washed our feet and anointed them with oil. I left there feeling like a totally different person. The Holy Spirit was over me in a way that it wasn't before. I had a full 5 days that I spent in the Spirit, and I opened up my eyes and even deeper to the fact that Jesus is coming back. As I was reading scriptures, God was directing me to so many different verses. That's what He did to me a couple months ago, was just taking me through many of them, that told a story that I never heard in the Bible before. Fast forward to September 14th, 2022. I had to have a surgery on my nose, and it was straightened out to divided septum. I had the same thing, and reduced some stuff in the sinuses so I could breathe better. Had the same surgery. Oh, horrible. Before surgery, my doctor came in and prayed with me. Just with me, you just prayed that God would bless His hands as He worked on me, as I asked the Lord would join us in the operating room, and have a few other things I can't remember. As I'm waking up from surgery, I was having a dream that I was spending time with Jesus. We were in the place made out of light, and it was a white, gold, yellow color that I can't even describe and cannot find a picture of it here on earth. Even whatever we were, even whatever we were sitting on was made of light. Jesus was sitting to my left, and I was his right, and he felt like he were just talking like we were best friends and just getting caught up or something. I'm not sure what we talked about, but I remember feeling like I was important. Then Jesus stood up and started to walk away from me. As he was walking away from me, he looked back over his left shoulder and tells me, "I'm coming soon." As I'm beginning to wake up and recover, there was a nurse to my left typing stuff on the computer. I'm trying to muster out the words Jesus told me, he is coming soon, but I'm realizing that my throat is really dry from having the tube down it. And the nurse looks at me and says, "Are you in pain?" Normal questions you would ask after surgery. I told her my throat hurt and that I was with Jesus, and he said to tell you he's coming soon. But I'm realizing that my throat is really dry from having the tube down it, and the nurse looks at me and says, "Are you in pain?" So she's telling the nurse that that Jesus is coming soon. She started smiling and she said, "Baby, I believe you that have been talking about Jesus for 30 minutes. I felt like I was trying to tell her he was coming soon, but before I actually said it. I felt like I had never said it out loud. Never out loud. It was just in my thoughts, but I must have said it out loud. I did make a video about it on my YouTube channel, In the Kitchen with Jess and Jesus. I got the date wrong when I was telling it in the video. I said it was in October, but it was in September the 14th. This by far was the best dream I ever had that I could describe what Jesus looked like in the dream. I never seen his face. When he stood up to walk away from me, I noticed he was tall and thin, but not too skinny, muscular and thin. He had a long robe. It wasn't fully white. It was an off-color white and went down to his hands and down to his feet. I felt like I remember seeing sandals on his feet. I can't remember his skin color, but I do remember his hair was dark auburn brown, and it went down past his shoulders. And it was very curly and really pretty. It looked like I just wanted to run my fingers through it. I wish I would have seen his face. I just can't recall what it looks like. When I was sitting next to him talking, I felt like I was staring at his lap. He reminded me of the Muppet Show that used to come on when the mama came on, if you ever seen the upper half of her only the bottom. Thank you, Jessica, for letting us know what you saw while you was in surgery. I had mine. I didn't see nothing. I woke up. I remember them screaming at me, trying to get me to wake up after surgery. So I wish I got that vision that you had. I would have loved to sit and talk to Jesus myself. But thank you, Jessica, for writing in. If you want to write in your vision or dream, the email is in the description. You can get on Telegram, share it also on there. We talk about stuff on there also. A lot of news on Telegram. And like I tell everybody, if you're lost, just call upon Jesus right now. He'll come. Believe what he did on the cross for you, that he did all the work. There's no works you can do to get into heaven. There is none. The only way to get into heaven is through Jesus. No other way. Believe that he died on the cross, shed his blood for you, for your past, present, and future sins. You will be sealed, and have faith and believe in your heart what he did. He is Jesus, the Messiah, and you are saved, and you are sealed, and you're rapture ready. You're ready to get out of here along with everybody else. If you don't see me again, I'll see you in heaven.